Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. I'm going to talk to you about Kyusho today. The word Kyusho is a Japanese term, and it's been picked up. It's a great term. I love it, and I work with it because it aptly describes what we're doing. We're attacking vital targets. But it was never the term that was used in Okinawa. Again, it was a Japanese word. There was a term used in Okinawa that I'm going to adopt for my closed door system. As you have heard from prior videos here on YouTube and in my seminars, I have two different systems that I teach. One is a public system and one is a private system. And the private system has a couple tiers. One is what I teach the instructors and the people that are affiliated with Kyusho International, and it's much more advanced than the old curriculum that you saw on the Ubiundo International videos. Now that system's still in effect, and we have a lot of people that still adhere to it because they're comfortable with it, they enjoy it, and it describes their style and their particular body action, and that's all well and good. They can become very proficient with it. I've noticed, though, that our more private instruction that we changed to over time is far more advanced, and people are learning at such a faster rate that it's just amazing. And it's due to the throwing out of the old idea of hitting pressure points and aiming at these little targets. And because Kyusho is not pressure points, never was. If you look back at the old notes, as I've mentioned many times, they've never alluded to triple warmer or large intestine or anything like that. They had their own names like Keichu and Shofu from Hohan Sokens notes. And even in Funakoshi's notes. Now, Funakoshi was an Okinawan, of course, and he moved to Japan and used a lot of Japanese terminology and created his Shotokan system based on Japanese ideology. But it was never intended for the use. It was an Okinawan art that was developed a long time ago, and it was adapted. And there are some jiu-jitsu systems that used to instruct in Kyusho. Again, when you look at Fujita, Nimpo, hereditary Nimpo leader at one point, also used the term Kyusho. Again, Japanese. But going back to Okinawa and the roots that came from China, they never used the word Kyusho. In China, they used Dimsu, they used Dimmak, they used many different terminologies, and in Okinawa, they used more and different. Okay, you got to remember that the Okinawans didn't speak Japanese. They spoke in a dialect called Hogan. And Hohan Sokens, the one that we really got a lot of notes from and a lot of insights from in his notes that were passed down from Fusei Kisei and others, and you can see that information on the discussion I had with Sensei James Kaufman on Kyusho.com. It gets into detail where the notes came from, what happened with it, and all that. I don't want to digress into that because that was a great discussion. You can just go back and find the information there. However, what I'm going to be doing is, as I said, I teach a couple of different systems. An open door system that I do in my seminars, and I work with a semi-private, which is what I work with my affiliates, and that was different. So all the people that had left before this new system came out don't understand what we're doing now. And that's just to keep us ahead of the game, and that's part of what my job is, keeping us in Kyusho International ahead of everybody else in the world, and it's working great. As I mentioned, people have done so well and learned so fast with this, but the closed door system that I'm only teaching a handful of people that I've known and trusted through many, many years, and I know won't be using this in a commercial way. They'll be keeping it for themselves, and they can be trusted with working it with people responsibly. That system, I'm going to give a name, okay, and it's not Kyusho, surprisingly. I'm going to use the name that Hohan Sokens used, because Hohan Sokens never used the term Kyusho. He used the term Ubiundo, and Ubi for short, and it means points of attack, okay? And it's not pressure points of attack. It's the point in the body where you attack to cause certain physiological dysfunction and damage. And it's a very powerful mechanism that's within Kyusho. Okay, and again, Kyusho can have varying levels of intensity. For the most part, we teach the public information as a very superficial art, just to get the neurological shock and dysfunction, but without the damaging effects. And let's face it, in today's litigious society, that's what you want. It keeps you safer from the court of law. For people like myself that want to dig into this as deep as we can and find out the real meaning of what's in the Bubishi and explore what the real karate was all about and the real martial arts were based on, then we have to dig deeper. So I'm going to be using the term Ubi, and if you see it, it doesn't mean I'm going to be instructing it in public. It just means that that's my closed door system. I'm going to be doing it in a country. I'm going to be testing it out as a principle, but not teaching the deeper levels, but the secondary levels that is not made public. So I just wanted to give you a heads up if you hear me talking about that in the future with Dr. Jacob McClintock. We're going deep into the ramifications that are in the Bubishi with medical explanation, and showing you how the katas fit in with it. It's simultaneous. He's a long-time martial artist, and he's been using this, oddly enough, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to unsuspecting classmates and getting great effects, and they still don't know what he's doing. So anyway, I digress. I'm babbling on here, so just let me summarize here by saying we have three systems in Kyusho International. One is the public system, which you see on Ubiundo International films. One is a more private base of knowledge that you see in the Platinum subscription, also in our affiliate instruction. And you have another tier that goes deeper into that for specialized affiliates. And then we have the closed door system that I'm only teaching to a handful of people for safety and ethical reasons. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More coming.